Philosophy has traditionally been a component of Catholic universities' curriculums. In fact, up until the 1960s, Notre Dame required students to take 6 philosophy courses in order to graduate. While we have fewer requirements now, we still expect every Notre Dame student to be a philosopher of sorts. There are 3 reasons why philosophy is an important part of a Notre Dame education. First, philosophical training helps you develop intellectual virtues like intellectual humility, curiosity, and charitable interpretation. These habits will serve you in every other class that you take on campus. Second, we want Notre Dame graduates to be leaders and to be equipped to serve others. To be a leader, you need to master logical argument and rigorous analysis. Finally, as a Catholic university, we believe that your Notre Dame education is not just preparing you to lead or to have a great career. It's also preparing you to live well. Part of achieving a good life means engaging in self-examination. It means developing your moral intuitions. And it means taking the time to step back and think about what your life means. All of this you're able to do in your philosophy course. In fact, philosophy is built into this university's mission. For instance, the mission statement says, "The university is dedicated to the pursuit and sharing of truth for its own sake." In this line of the mission, the founders are doing philosophy. There are 2 different ways we might understand the claim that truth is valuable. First, we might think that truth is extrinsically valuable, knowing the truth is valuable because of what else it can get you. For instance, knowing the right answer on a game show might get you $1,000. That's a way of valuing the truth. But that's not what the founders are saying. In this line of the mission, we're saying that the university is committed to the intrinsic value of truth, the value of truth for its own sake. Can we make this idea of valuing the truth for its own sake a little bit more precise? Well, the mission continues. As a Catholic university, one of its distinctive goals is to provide a forum where, through free inquiry and open discussion, the various lines of Catholic thought may intersect with all the forms of knowledge found in the arts, sciences, professions, and every other area of human scholarship and creativity. One way that philosophy is different from other disciplines is in its generality. So philosophy is not defined particularly by what we study, so much as how we ask and answer questions. Philosophy is defined by asking really broad questions. While an economist might ask whether a particular policy is disadvantaging the poor, a philosopher will ask, what exactly do we owe to the poor? Philosophical training helps us take a step back and ask how all of the different discoveries from other disciplines fit together into a unified whole. In fact, Cardinal John Henry Newman thought this was the central organizing idea of a university, that it be a place where we can take a step back and look at all of the different seemingly disparate branches of truth and see how they all fit together into a complex picture. Okay, but how do we practically go about forming this unified picture of the truth? Well, the mission continues. The intellectual interchange essential to a university requires and is enriched by the presence and voices of diverse scholars and students. This is key. What makes a university like ours truly Catholic is precisely this sense of universality. Philosophers are committed to following the best arguments wherever they lead, regardless of their origins. In fact, the great philosophers of the past were always engaged in dialogue with different cultures and traditions. So St. Thomas Aquinas not only studied Christian theology, but also studied Jewish philosophy and Islamic philosophy and pagan philosophy, and tried to unify them into a complete picture of the truth. Nowadays, this commitment to following the best argument where it leads entails a commitment to having a campus that's full of scholars and students from diverse cultural, political, and geographic backgrounds, all committed to logical rigor and to following the best arguments wherever they come from. Even though we base our philosophy course on the data of faith, no one need fear that we shall confine our teaching within narrow and unscientific boundaries. No, we wish to accept science without prejudice and in a manner adapted to the needs of our times. We do not want our students to be ignorant of anything they should know. To this end, we shall shrink from no sacrifice, but we shall never forget that virtue, as Bacon puts it, is the spice which preserves science. We shall always place education side by side with instruction. The mind will not be cultivated at the expense of the heart. While we prepare useful citizens for society, we shall likewise do our utmost to prepare citizens for heaven.